We've got a juicy one today, guys. Today we're going to be talking about how we increase our capacity for pleasure and joy by reprogramming our baseline, by creating a new normal for ourselves. So human beings just have this baseline that they come back to. It's what is known and what is familiar. So if your baseline is a poverty mindset, that there isn't enough, that your dreams are unsupported, what you'll tend to find is even if you make a lot of money, you'll spend a lot of money and go back into a debt mentality, because you will make your way back to what is known. And we will have stories and character strips about this is who I am, this is how life is, this is how it has to be. So we can see that whilst we may take lots and lots of action, if we don't increase our baseline for something more pleasurable, enjoyable, no matter what we create, we will always come back to these feelings of lack. And what we're going for is fulfillment and abundance. So how do we increase our capacity for joy? Well, it's very similar to actually emotional resilience. So emotions are just emotions. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. We have low emotional resilience and our ability to contain emotions is low. For negative emotions, it will also be the same for pleasurable emotions. And actually our unconscious mind will say, whoa, I can't deal with these extreme negative emotions, but then I also can't deal with extreme happiness. It might make me feel vulnerable. I might worry that I'm going to lose it. So actually, like anything in personal development, what we can do is increase our capacity incrementally for joy and pleasure so that our container stretches. This is good for two reasons. One, of course, it changes our baseline, so feeling good becomes our new normal. But it also means that we become more emotionally resilient for the times when it's more challenging, or we are being asked to step more into our greatness and deal with things that might have previously challenged us. So actually we learn in our capacity for joy, also we learn emotional resilience to deal with the difficult things. It's actually the same process. So how do we begin? So what I would first of all say is, because generally people tend to be far better at giving than receiving. But in order to really manifest and bring in our deepest desires, we need to be in this beautiful process, like the breath of giving out, breathing out, letting go, but also receiving nourishment. And our dreams, the things that we long for, the things that we desire, the things that we want the most, the things that make us feel good and energized and healthy, we need nourishment. We need to be able to receive. So I would always start there, because it can always bring up lots of things for people. It tends to be the most challenging. So what I want you to do first of all is practice. Make it an active practice to receive. So that might mean if someone says something really beautiful about you, rather than like diminishing it or blocking it, just open up your heart. These are really open-hearted practices. And we need an open heart if we want to feel fulfilled. And just say thank you. When someone wants to do something nice for you or support you, rather than blocking it and telling them how resilient you are and like how independent and isn't that cool, just say, oh God, that's really great, thank you, I'll let you support me. And just know that those open-hearted practices are expanding your capacity. It actually just says, okay, this is my new story. I am supported. I can receive what it is that I desire. Just start off small and then practice growing it. It starts to change and reprogram often our fears about, or our dreams about, being unsupported. So the first one is learning to receive. The second one is scheduling in and making it a priority to do the things every day that make you feel good. So even if that's just one thing that you schedule into your diary, but again, make it non-negotiable. that lights you up, that makes you feel important, that makes you feel seen, that makes your life that much more exciting, that much more enjoyable, do it. Even if it makes you feel guilty, even if you think that you don't have time, even if you tell yourself you're too busy. We are never too busy for pleasure and joy. This is what fills us up. This is what gives us the fuel to do the things that are great. Without this full fuel, we burn out, we feel exhausted, we haven't got anything to give. So just know that those thoughts that you haven't got time for yourself, or that you should feel guilty, or that things need to be hard, let them go. Or let them be there and choose something different. Because this is more than self-care. This is actually reprogramming who you are and how you function in the world. And that has a knock-on effect in everything in your life. The third is just really start to think about, which we really do when we're in our day-to-day, what do you think that we're here for? We've got these beautiful sensory bodies that can give us so much joy and so much pleasure. Do you honestly think, and again challenge the limits, challenge the conditioning, that we were here perfect and whole, unique, to wake up, go to jobs that we hate, have lots and lots of responsibility, to come at home, to numb out, to wait for the weekend, which we might or might not have some pleasure, to dread going to the next week? I don't think so. I don't think so. What would be the point? And to me, that is just not correct. So if we can just start to challenge these kind of conditioning and beliefs that we've inherited, that life needs to be hard work, that it all needs to be a struggle, that we have to do X, Y, and Z in order to feel pleasure, we start to open up a new way of living, a new way of creating, a new way of propelling ourselves forward. So we can be ambitious and it can be so joyful. We can live with purpose and contribute to a better world and be really full up. We are in times now where we can challenge these old ways of being. And I want you to just to think about, just allow yourself to dream. If I allowed myself to just experience and be grateful for every, life force, energy that I have available to me, every pleasure that is available to me. Because we don't overindulge when we are actually filling ourselves up. It's when we try to starve ourselves, then we overindulge. And start to allow yourself to dream. What would this look like if I could allow myself to receive pleasure? If I could allow myself to be full of joy and fun? How would you change your life? What would you make a priority? How would you start to shift how you spend your time and energy and money if it being enjoyable and pleasurable and fulfilling became a priority and a focus, knowing that the better that we feel, the more that we create? So I'm just going to leave you with those three processes. Allowing yourself to receive, scheduling in joy and pleasure into your day and week, and challenging and creating your own vision about what it would feel like, what it would look like, how it would be different if you made it joyful. As ever, I'm here to support you with this joyful vision. If you ever need help, I'm here to support you. Sending you so much love. Make this year joyful. Give yourself permission to live and experience fully. It's what we're here for. Sending you so much love.